Hello and welcome everyone to my How to Play English. Well, this version is typically my type of English. So first of all, when we are joining into the game, the first thing you need to know is to queue up villagers immediately. When you queued up the villagers from the TC, send them to the gold straight. My favorite type of build or guide, what I always do, 2, 6. What does it mean? You send the first two villagers to gold, you build a mining camp, and you build a house. Now, what you need to know about English is their economy is kind of nice. It builds up very, very slow, but their economy is very, very nice. So when we send the villager, the second one to the gold as well, we're gonna build a house with it. So we send the second villager, build a house. Then we are sending one villager to eat the sheep and the other one to eat the other sheep. Easy as it is, right? And another villager to the other sheep. At the same time, we are scouting the map. We are trying to look where the sheep are and trying to bring back as many as possible. So we have the villager of A2. Then we are sending villagers to these little straggle trees because we have enough wood from the straggle trees to build our second TC. Because currently English is very, very strong with the second TC play. The reason behind that, because it's very hard to punish it since your villagers have a short bow. So never ever forget that when you are playing English, you can't get Dark Age rushed. Because most of the civilization will struggle against Dark Age rush, since a spearman or a Menatom early on would be really, really strong. But the good thing with English is that because they have a short bow, they can deal with the Dark Age rush very, very well. Okay, searching for more and more sheep. Okay, so we are pulling off at least two villagers, building up the Abbey of Kings. Now, there are multiple options or version for this kind of style of some people like to push 3 villagers, some people like to push 4 villager on the age up, and etc, etc. I can tell you that it is civilization dependent how many villagers you use to age up it. So what is the reason behind using more villagers to age up? Let's say 3 or 4 villager. Well, that's very, very simple to tell you the reason behind it. Because many civilization can age up to feudal and let's say make a knight or make a horseman. So if you age up with more than one villager, you get a really good timing on the king as well. Then you can intercept those kind of rushes. So the reason why many people age up with 4 villager on the Abbey of Kings, because it takes a minute to get out the king, and after that go and rush to the opponent. Now, I can advise you, if your opponent is like an early Russia civilization that has knight or has some very strong horsemen, then yeah, feel free to use that. Feel free to go and age up with 4 villager. So, where do we build stuff? Where are the best locations? The second TC will go up on the gold. We will need it ASAP. And after that, we will build a white tower here. Now, I don't really want to block good farm locations. So I'm gonna build a house right there. Because I can still build here a mill, but the farms here and here is gonna be problematic for me. And you might ask like, why? The reason behind it is very, very simple. Because if I build a farm here or here, it would take like very, very long time for the villager to garrison inside the TC, and most likely you will lose that villager. So we are very close with the resources to build the second TC. As soon as those villagers are done with the wood, I can build it up immediately. Stone is done. So I can build it. Now second TC goes up next to this gold. And there's going to be a white tower protecting the second TC and the main TC. I'm going to put these villagers on the wood. As soon as this TC is down, one of my villagers didn't drop off the wood. But as soon as the TC is down, the villager will drop off the wood inside the second TC. So I can build a lumber camp. Because I was supposed to build a lumber camp. But one of the villagers didn't drop off the wood, sadly. So now with your king, you are going around and you are just harassing and being annoying to your opponent. Just like that. You use the king. You are harassing. And again, my style that I'm playing this 2TC as well. It was very successful. Won matches on tournament, which is really nice to win with a style. So now you have many options. So let's calculate where we're gonna build the white tower. I kind of wish to protect this area with the white tower because I need this gold, but I need this kind of area as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna build here a mill and farms, and let's see where can I position my white tower. Because when you are building up your economy, so you are using that few villager I was talking about to set it on wood. Now setting my second TC on gold as well. After I build a few farms. And we need to build the farm since we are English and the farm cost is very low. And that's why we have the few villager on wood. And we will figure it out. This could be like you would say, oh, that's a really good white tower position. But at the same time, I kind of don't agree with that. If your opponent is trying to rush you just like that, you can just easily garrison your villagers. Or if he is trying to rush under the TCs, don't forget, your villagers have bow. So feel free to use those villagers and shoot at your opponent. And that's all you have to do. And you don't need to be scared of these early rushes. It might slow you a little bit to reaching your castle, but it's not really a huge problem. If I'm being honest with you. Because yeah, you got slowed down a little bit, but he just lost his whole army that he spent on a lot. And we're gonna build our house, and we're gonna continue with the mills and farm. Because again, our goal is to get to the next stage. I feel like I have way too many villagers to go, so I pushed a few villagers off from gold and set it on food so we can get our white tower up. And let's keep harass with the king around the enemy player's TC. And let's use the scout to see where the enemy player is. Sniping out a few villagers is always nice. Just be careful so you don't lose the king. You don't need like insane APM to do this. You're just chilling in your base, building some farms. If you're out of food, you can put those villagers to wood. And also, this is a really nice location to build your white tower because you are fully protecting your food. So with the white tower, you are just securing a location inside your base. Right there. Yeah, we are looking for good openings, just like that. And harass the opponent. Don't forget to use the campfire, that gives you better vision. This is a good place for White Tower. That's a good place as well to build a White Tower because that fully protects your gold. But this White Tower also protects my wood and the food. Which is, as I said, like, both are really, really good. We can continue building the farms. Having your full farm build is very, very good and important. So, that's it. Now, you have two options when you go to the Castle Age. The first option is that you make infantry base of units, which is perfectly fine with the English because you are more like infantry civilization. The second option is that you make a few knights, a good amount of few knights, and you go for early map control in the Castle Age. So we just reached Castle Age. We're gonna build a monastery. Gonna get some economical upgrades as well, like wheelbarrow and horticulture. I'm making the knights. Need more religion and gold. Getting my monks and collecting relic. So as you can see, my only building I have is the White Tower. I'm making the knights out of the White Tower. So as I said, I have two options. It's based on the civilization you are playing against it as well, right? But option number one is that you make a few knights, you're harassing, trying to have map control. Option number two, that you are making units and infantry type of units. And that's how you are trying to get not really much of map control for yourself, but to protect yourself in most cases. Alright. So as you see, our opponent is trying to attack, but because of the White Tower, they protect most of the resources as well. You will not have much of a problem. Okay. White Tower fully protected. I can send back the villagers. Well, with a few units I'm harassing. I can even get her up this berry patch, because why not? And if my knights are on low HP, I just use the Abbey of Kings to heal them up immediately. Building a few houses. And collecting the relics. So this is the base of this build, that what you actually need to do is to run around a little bit, use your knights, secure the map, kill some villagers of the opponent. Okay. If you can build, beat the AI as well, to like in a few games of practice with this style, then you're on the right path. Raiding those villagers is very, very, very important. Reducing the enemy economy is always a must. Okay. So we are very close to Imperial, which was the goal, by the way. Okay, he's trying to go do some raiding on those villagers. And we are aging up with the Vanguard. It is very important to age up with the Vanguard. What you can do when the enemy has knight and infantry and the knight is on the front, that you are charging into them a little bit. Then you are not engaging in a fight. You just charge into his army, and that's all you have to do. So now we are aging up. The first thing I'm going to do is getting the enclosure upgrade and building a market, because now we have to influence the market rates a lot. So let's say if your opponent has a lot of speed, you can make footmen, or you can immediately spam the Wingard Raiders. So let's say our gold, second gold, is not that good. Then we are sending the villagers back. And let's say your opponent does this because he saw that you are Imperial. And you are making the units out of Wingard Palace. Building a few stables to get my upgrades. And blacksmith is very important. So let's say we just beated our opponent army, which is amazing. We still continue building farms and more farms, because we need the Wingard Palace to run non-stop. If you can't queue up Wingard Raiders at a certain time, then try to queue up either footmen or rangers, very importantly. So we are still making Wingard Raiders, but the most important to make out of the landmark is actually the Wingard Raiders. You don't really need to gather food on the map, natural food. You need to gather the farms, because you are getting gold as well. So we are gathering food, and a good amount of food. You are gathering gold as well. We are getting the knight upgrade as well, so we're gonna have Imperial knights, which makes these knights getting even better. See how easy it is to micro out the knights when they are on low HP? You just one click. You just hover your mouse around the unit that looks like, okay, that's gonna be the lowest HP. Just right click and click out of the army. And now we are upgrading the horsemen as well into Imperial horsemen. So most of the units will be Imperial now. And this is very strong because now I'm making 6 units in 25 seconds, which can be reduced to 19 seconds. So we are thriving in Imperial right now. So we are looking for that upgrade, which is this upgrade, the Military Academy. It helps you a lot. All you have to do is to make sure you have very good and stable food economy. Yeah, just sending in, just sending in. As you can look at the amount of unit I'm sending in, isn't that crazy? And because we had early map control, we easily secured the relics. But don't overmake the knights. Like making 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 knight is fine. Like even up to 10 is fine. But make sure you have enough gold here to age up the Imperial. That's very, very important. So now you will see military academy is going in. In a few seconds, this will be very, very fast. Goes in. So 19 here, 34 from the 45, and 41 here. So you can see all the unit reinforcement is going to be very, very fast. But we're going to use mostly the Wingard Palace to make raiders because it's very, very cheap. It's only 650 food and 200 gold. So basically, how much resource do we not spend? So a knight is 140 food, so that's 3 times 140. Then we have 3 times 100 food on because of horseman. Then 3 times 20 and 3 times 100 gold. So you literally save so much resource on making out of that landmark and not from the stable, that it's really worth it to make your cavalry unit only out of that landmark. And what you can do if you don't wish to build production building a little bit, that you can make units out of your white tower, because don't forget the white tower produces units very fast. You can see 6 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 17, 19, 9 seconds. So you make units very fast out of the white tower as well, so don't forget to use it. You can even, like, let's say, make a few hand cannon out of it as well, or siege. But of course you need to add your production buildings, very importantly. And in the end, you will beat whoever is trying to beaten you. So with this passive style, this very passive style of English, you have chance against almost all the civilization in the game, and in lower league you have even higher chances to successful with this build. I don't see in the future this being nerfed or changed. So you can keep a rock with this English build. It's very simple, very easy to understand, and yeah, that's how I play English. And this build also won me many tournament games so far. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you will enjoy it.